Well, good morning and welcome to our Snug Harbor Morning Reflection. My name is Shane Thompson. I'm one of the chaplains here at Snug Harbor, and I'm glad you're with us this morning as we continue looking at step 3. As we prepare ourselves to begin this morning, let's let go of everything that's happened in the previous 24 hours and begin a new day today, letting go of the past and focusing on our promising future that lies ahead. Let us open this morning with our serenity prayer. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. As we open this morning, let's meditate a little bit on what went well in the past day and what didn't go so well. What could we have done better as we reflect on our opening song, My Lighthouse.
In my wrestling and in my doubts, in my failures, you won't walk out. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. In the silence, you won't let go. In the questions, your truth will hold. Your great love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. My lighthouse, shining in the darkness, I will follow you. Oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore. Tomorrow brings. With each morning I'll rise and sing. My God's love will lead me through. You are the peace in my troubled sea. Whoa, you are the peace in my troubled sea. Oh, you are my light, my lighthouse, shining in the darkness. I will follow you, oh, my lighthouse, I will trust the promise. You will carry me safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore, safe to shore. Fire before us, you're the brightest. You will lead us through the storms. Fire before us, you're the brightest.
Step 3, that is where we turn our life and our will over to the care of God. That is basically saying daily, God, I surrender to you.
To show you what it looks like to surrender to God, my friend Ed and I are going to give you a visual picture of what it means to fall into the arms of God. This is called the trust fall.
Hold on. We're not doing this.
Just do it.
No, we're not doing this. We did not talk about it. I'm not going to do this. We didn't talk about it. No, why? I don't trust you like that.
Why?
Because I'm not going to fall into your arms.
I want to show them what it looks like to trust God.
You're not God.
Yeah, but I played him on TV. It's pretty much the same thing.
It's not the same thing. No, not even close to the same thing. I just don't want to do it.
Come on.
Okay. I will do this. I will show them. I will do this illustration to show them what it looks like to fall into God's heavenly arms, to surrender to God.
Okay. This is what it looks like to surrender everything over and fall into God's arms. Okay.
Fall into my arms, child.
God does not sound like Johnny Cash.
Yes, he does.
No, he doesn't.
No.
I do know.
Take this serious.
I can't take it serious.
Some people think he sounds like Johnny
Yeah,
Cash.
everybody does.
Carl Perkins.
Fall into my arms, child.
You're so heavy.
A special thank you to the Skit Guys for that illustration. In step 3, we made a decision to turn our will and our lives over to the care of God as we understood Him. What a great example it is to see that trust fall of faith. But it's also a good example because we put our faith and our hope into mankind, and man will always let us down. This higher power that we're finally making a decision in step 3 to turn our will and our lives over to will not let us down. Step 3 is a lot about releasing worry, letting go of things. It is often our worries about the smallest details of our life that lead to our undoing. Life's daily demands can be overwhelming. Perhaps our acting out and our using is a way of escaping. When we're sober, we are once again faced with the pressures of life. Learning to manage these in a new way is a very important key to maintaining our sobriety. It says actually in the New Testament, I tell you not to worry about everyday life, whether you have enough food or drink or enough clothes to wear. Isn't life more than food and your body more than clothing? Look at the birds. They don't plant or harvest or store food in barns, and yet they are provided for. Aren't you more valuable than they are? Can all your worries add a single moment to your life? And then it says, and why worry about your clothing? Look at the lilies of the field and how they grow. They don't work or make their clothing. And if God cares so wonderfully for the wildflowers that are here today and thrown into the fire tomorrow, He will certainly care for you. So don't worry about these things. Worry is something that comes so easy to us. And yet when we worry, it builds and builds and builds till we find that we need to escape. In step 3, we release our worry and we actually take some action and turning our lives and our will over to the care of God as we understood Him. We talked about turn, which is an action word, but now we actually need to take the action. You know, even after taking the first 2 steps, we can still be stuck in the cycle of failure, guilt, anger, fear, depression. Guilt, anger, fear, depression. So how do we get unstuck? How do we get by the barriers of pride, fear, worry, and doubt that keep us from making this step? And it comes by actually doing something about it and taking action. So looking at that word action, the first thing we have to do is we have to accept a higher power. Determine who or what that is for you. And know that the chaplains here at Snug Harbor, Dustin and myself, are here to guide you in this process of discovery. We can introduce you to a higher power. We can introduce you to who our higher power is. Or we can guide you on the journey of discovering who or what that is for you. Maybe you had belief early on in life and that has waned over time. And yet we can help you reconnect to that higher power you once knew. Or maybe you discover an entirely new higher power that guides your life. No matter what it is, the first thing we have to do is accept that higher power. Then we have to commit to figuring out what that higher power's will for our life is. No matter what it is, that will never be using or drinking. So we start to get to know our higher power and we commit to see that will and figuring out what it is for our lives. Then we have to turn it over. We've all heard the phrase, let go and let God. You've heard that. I've heard it. It's a simple phrase, but it's so true to those who are working the steps. Turn over all the big things and all the little things in your life to your higher power. Your higher power wants a relationship with you. All of you, not just the parts we want to allow that higher power into. So ask yourself today, what burdens are you carrying today that you've been holding back from your higher power? The I reminds us that this is only the beginning. In this step, we only make the initial choice, the initial commitment to seek and follow a higher power's will for our lives. Your walk with your higher power begins with this decision, but it doesn't end with this decision. It's followed by a lifelong relationship of growing in knowledge of that higher power. We do this by taking it one day at a time. Recovery happens one day at a time. 1 second, 1 minute, 1 hour at a time. We heard earlier that we can't worry about tomorrow. We can't worry about next week. We need to trust our higher power to lead us and to guide us and to deal with today. If we remain stuck in the yesterdays or constantly worry about the tomorrows, we will waste the precious time of today. We will miss the gift that the present time is. We can only change our hurts, our habits, and our hang-ups right now. So stop focusing on the past. Stop focusing on where we've come from. Stop worrying about tomorrow. And focus on this moment in time. When we do those following, we're ready to take the next steps. When you come to this point in step 3, it comes down to a decision. Will you take action? Will you allow your higher power to guide your life? Will you turn your life and your will over to that higher power? Until we answer these questions, we cannot move further in the process of recovery. To try and go it alone will only put us back in the same position that landed us here, stuck, hurting, and suffering from the pain of our addiction, or our hurts, our habits, and our hang-ups. Step 3 is vital to obtaining success in the future steps, because in the future steps we're going to confront our pain. We're going to confront those things that made us use or made us drink, And to do that alone will almost certainly result in failure. We need the strength of our higher power to get there. So I encourage you this morning to just breathe and then to take action.
Alarm clock screaming, bare feet hit the floor. Yeah, it's off to the races, everybody out the door. I'm feeling like I'm falling behind, it's a crazy life. 90 miles an hour, going fast as I can, trying to push a little harder, trying to get the upper hand. So much to do in so little time, it's a crazy life. It's ready, set, go, it's another wild day. When the stress is on the rise, in my heart I feel you say, just breathe, just breathe. Come and rest at my feet and be, just be. Chaos calls, but all you really need is to just breathe. Third cup of Joe just to get me through the day. Wanna make the most of time, but I feel it slip away. I wonder if there's something more to this crazy life. I'm busy, 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 and it's no surprise to see that I only have time for me, me, me. There's gotta be something more to this crazy life. I'm hanging on tight to another wild day. When it starts to fall apart in my heart, I hear you say, just breathe, just breathe. Come and rest at my feet and be, just be. Chaos calls, but all you really need is to take it in, fill your lungs, the peace of God that overcomes. Just breathe. Let your weary spirit rest. Lay down what's good and find what's best. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Come and rest at my feet and be, just be. Chaos calls, but all you really need is to just breathe. Just breathe.
I hope you'll take some time today to just breathe. And maybe for the first time, take that step and turn your life and your will over to your higher power. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Amen. I hope you have a great day. I hope you're working hard at your recovery. I hope you're gaining new insight to yourself, and you're finally releasing those hurts those habits and those hang-ups that have held you back for so very long. As always, you're in my thoughts and prayers. God bless you all. I'll see you soon.